everyone, welcome back to my class. This is Rumana Ali. I hope you all are doing well. In today's class, let us start a new lesson, and the name of our lesson is energy. So what do we mean by the word energy? Energy can be defined as the capacity to do work. All the living creatures that are living on the earth, they need energy to do work. So energy can be defined as the capacity to do work. Not only living things, but the different machines, the different equipments that are making the work of the human easier. These machines and other equipments also requires energy to show some movement to do their work. Basically, energy is the capacity of the things to do the different tasks or to perform different activities. If you see this picture, then you can observe the presence of different vehicles. So different vehicles are given in this picture: auto, rickshaw, bullock cart, train, bus, and bike, van, and even cycle is also given in this picture. So when you observe the movement of all these vehicles also require energy. From where do they get the energy? If we talk about the vehicles like auto, rickshaw, bus, and bike or van, then these kind of vehicles require fuels like petrol and diesel. So they require fuels, and fuel like petrol and diesel is going to be heated up, it is going to be burned, and the burning of petrol and diesel can give energy to these vehicles, and by using that energy these vehicles can move from one place to another place. So in this way some of the vehicles require fuels to get the energy. But when you see the bullock cart and cycle, they don't need fuels. Then how do they move? We have food, we eat food to get the energy. So human beings, they eat the food to get energy, and this energy can be utilized to move this bullock cart and cycle. So whatever the energy that we are getting by having food, that energy can be utilized to move this bullock cart and cycle. So we are using our body energy to make the movement of the vehicles like bullock cart and cycle. But when we talk about the train, then train is a vehicle that runs on electricity. By using electricity it can move, and the movement of the train can be possible by burning of coal also. So burning of coal generates electricity, and this electricity can be utilized by the different trains to move. And some vehicles, they move with the help of gas also. So here if we see, then different types of vehicles use different kinds of energy to show their movement. They work only when they get the energy. So some of the vehicles get the energy by burning of fuels like petrol and diesel. Some of them work by using different gases, and some vehicles can show their movement by using electricity, and some of them require the human body's energy. That means the human can make the movement, can pull the vehicle and make its movement by using its own energy. So in this way different vehicles require different kinds of energy to show their movement and to do their work. So basically the energy is required by all the machineries, the energy is required by all the vehicles that are present to show their work. तो अभी हम बात करेंगे एनर्जी के बारे में. एनर्जी यानी कैपेसिटी जिसकी वजह से हम कोई भी काम कर पाएंगे. तो ये एनर्जी ह्यूमन बीइंग्स और लिविंग क्रिएचर्स के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट होती है. अगर एनर्जी ना हो तो हम कोई भी काम सही से नहीं कर पाएंगे. इसी तरीके से डिफरेंट मशीनरीज जो प्रेजेंट है, डिफरेंट व्हीकल्स जो प्रेजेंट है, उनको भी एनर्जी की ज़रूरत होती है उनका वर्क करने के लिए, उनका वर्क बताने के लिए, मूवमेंट बताने के लिए. तो यहाँ पर डिफरेंट व्हीकल्स के बारे में बात की गई है. तो डिफरेंट व्हीकल्स लाइक ऑटो रिक्शा है, बुलक कार्ट, ट्रेन, बस, बाइक, वैन, साइकिल, ये सारे व्हीकल्स हमें एक प्लेस पे से दूसरी प्लेस पे ले जाने के लिए इस्तेमाल किए जा सकते हैं. थोड़े से ऐसे व्हीकल्स होते हैं जो फ्यूल्स की मदद से रन कर पाते हैं. फ्यूल्स यानी पेट्रोल और डीजल. थोड़े ऐसे व्हीकल्स होते हैं जो गैस की मदद से रन कर पाते हैं और थोड़े से ऐसे व्हीकल्स होते हैं जो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी की मदद से एक प्लेस पे से दूसरी प्लेस पर जा सकते हैं। लेकिन जब आप व्हीकल्स देखेंगे जैसे कि है बुलक कार्ट और साइकिल, ये ना तो फ्यूल्स का इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं, ना तो गैस का, और ना ही इलेक्ट्रिसिटी की मदद से चल पाते हैं। ये ऐसे व्हीकल्स है जिसको हमें पुल करना होता है। तो हमारी एनर्जी इसके अंदर इस्तेमाल की जाती है, यानी हम खाना खाते हैं एनर्जी के लिए, राइट। द फूड दैट वी हैव, इट गिव्स अस एनर्जी एंड दैट एनर्जी कैन बी यूज्ड टू pull the vehicles like bullock cart and cycle, and by this we can use the vehicles like bullock cart and cycle to make its movement by pulling. So this is about the different vehicles that require energy to show its work. Our next topic is, what do these need? If you look at this picture, then what are the things that are present in this picture? What are the different things that you can observe in this picture? So we can see the presence of a fan. An electric motor is given here in the picture, and the chilies are kept under the sunlight for drying. A torchlight is present and different stoves are given, and also an iron is present. Metal iron is given in this picture. So all these different things are given in the picture. How do they work? What do they require to show their operations, to show their movement? So these are the different things that also require energy. Some of them require solar energy. That means the energy which is coming from the source like sunlight. Whatever the energy we are getting from the sunlight, that is called as solar energy. And one more form of energy we get, and that is through electricity. And also by burning of fuels, one kind of energy we can get. These different kinds of energies are required by these different things to show their movement. So here fan is present. The rotation of the fan takes place only when the electricity is present. So it requires electrical energy. Without electricity it doesn't work. Likewise, electric motor also requires electrical energy to show its operation and also to show its movement. And when you see the chilies, they are kept under the sunlight. So sunlight helps in drying these chilies. So here, which type of energy it is required? As the energy is getting from the sunlight, we call this kind of energy as solar energy. So solar energy is required to dry the chilies that is kept under the sunlight. And torchlight is also present. It requires battery to work. So the stoves are given, and that stoves work by burning different fuels. And here iron is given that works by applying heat and also by using electrical energy. So in this way, different things that we use in our daily life to make our work easier require different kinds of energy. Some of them are getting the energy from the sunlight. We call that energy as solar energy. Some of them require electricity to show their work. That is nothing but electrical energy. And some of them can work by the burning of fuels like petrol, diesel and kerosene. So in this way, burning of fuels can also produces, it can also provide energy to the different things, to the different objects that helps them to do their work. So here three forms of energies are given: solar energy, electrical energy and the energy that we get by burning the fuels. So in this way, energy is used for the different purposes and also in the different forms. So energy is obtained from different sources, like we can get the energy from sun, we can get the energy from wind, from water, from petrol, diesel, kerosene, gas and coal. All these are called as the sources of energy from which we can get the energy. So energy resources, the things from which we get the energy, they are called as sources. So these are some of the sources from which we can get the energy. But when we talk about energy resources, then it is classified into two main types. Energy resources are of two types. One is non-renewable resources and the other one is renewable resources. Non-renewable resources are the resources that can be exhausted, that can be decreases in the environment, that are called as non-renewable resources. For example, the energy that we obtained by burning coal, by burning fuels like kerosene, petrol, gas and diesel, that energy is called as non-renewable energy, as we are getting it from non-renewable resources, and this energy is utilized for the different purposes, like for the production of electricity we can use this energy, for transportation, and also the energy can be used to run different machines in different industries and factories, and this energy can also be used for cooking purposes. So when we talk about the uses of energy that we get from non-renewable resources, then it includes in the production of electricity. By burning fuels we can run the different vehicles, and that vehicles helps in transportation. That transportation means moving from one place to another place. So we move from one place to another by using vehicles. That vehicles can run by using energy which is getting by burning fuels like petrol and diesel. Next function, next uses, the energy that we get from the non-renewable resources can be used to run different machines that are found in different industries and factories. And the other use of the non-renewable resources is for cooking. So for cooking purposes also we can use the energy, we can burn the fuels, and by burning the fuels energy is obtained, and that energy is used to cook food. So in this way all these are the different uses that can be obtained by using the energy that we get by burning fuels like coal, kerosene, petrol, gas and diesel, and these are called as non-renewable resources. The next one is renewable resources. Renewable resources are the resources that never get exhausted. They can be there in the environment forever. The resources that never get exhausted are called as renewable resources. For example, sunlight, water and wind. Sunlight, water and wind are called as the renewable resources because they cannot be getting exhausted, because these are the resources that never get exhausted. They are present in the environment forever. So these kind of resources are called as renewable resources. The energies that we get from these renewable resources we are going to talk about in a minute. Before this we will be seeing or will be learning how to reduces the exhaustion of non-renewable resources. As the non-renewable resources are getting exhausted day by day, it's our responsibility to save the non-renewable resources because they are very essential for the human beings. If these resources get exhausted from the environment, if it is going to be completely removed from the environment, we cannot do certain activities, we cannot get electricity, we cannot run our vehicles and run our machines, and even we cannot use them for our cooking purpose, for our daily activities. So it's our responsibility to conserve them, to save them. So what we need to do to save them? So we should not use much amount of electricity. If anyone is not there in the room, then you need to switch off the lights and fans of that room. In this way you can save the electricity. And if you don't have any work, you don't have to buy anything from the outside, but just for riding, if you are going to take your vehicle a wrong action, because it's a wrong thing, you should not do that, because to run the vehicle burning of petrol is needed, because by burning the fuel only the vehicle is getting the energy. So you should not roam here and there on your vehicle leisurely. By doing so you can conserve the non-renewable resources. And instead of using gas stoves and all, you can use the gobar gas, and you can use the natural gas. If you use natural gas for the different purposes like for cooking, this also helps you to save the non-renewable resources. So these are some of the activities that you can do. You can make your efforts to save non-renewable resources for ourselves and also for the future generation. Non-renewable resources like coal and petrol, they takes a lot of time. We cannot get the coal easily. Dead bodies of the animals and the plants, they get buried in the soil for thousands of years, and after thousands of years, the buried animals and plants can be converted into non-renewable resources like coal and some other diesels. So we should not waste these non-renewable resources. We should always take care, and we should always try to conserve these non-renewable resources so that it cannot get exhausted and it can be available for our future generation. So now we are going to learn about the different kinds of energies that can be obtained by using renewable resources. So the energy that is obtained by using sunlight is called as solar energy. Solar energy is used by the human beings to dry clothes, to dry grains, and also to dry the fish. So in drying of clothes, grains and fishes, we need solar energy that we get from sunlight. The solar energy can also be used in generating electricity. So how can you say that the solar energy can be used to generate or to produce electricity? If you use solar panels, then the solar cells are present in that solar panels. They takes up the energy that is getting from the sunlight, and that energy can be converted to produce electricity. The solar energy can also be used by the solar cells to produce electricity, and that electricity is stored in the batteries. And the batteries in which the electricity is stored can be used to light up the street lights during night time. So in this way, the natural resource, renewable resources are used by us to produce solar energy, and this energy is used to generate electricity. And we know that electricity is very essential for different works. Many works are possible only in the presence of electricity. In our country, Gujarat is a state where the solar energy is used in a huge amount. They use solar energy more frequently. The schools, colleges and offices, at all these different places, solar panels were placed on their terraces, and these solar panels can convert the solar energy into electricity, and they use that electricity in running different machines and in running different equipment. So all these different things can be worked properly by using solar energy. So here the different appliances are given that can run by using solar energy. So the different appliances are emergency lamp, calculator, solar heater, solar car. All these are the different appliances that can run, that can work, or we can say that can show its operation by using the energy from the sunlight. So this is about one kind of energy, that is solar energy. The next one is wind energy. So what do you mean by wind energy? Firstly, wind means moving air. In your lower classes, you might have studied that the moving air is called wind. Wind also has energy. How can you say that wind has energy? And it has turbines. So when the wind moves speed, then these turbines rotate, and the rotation of the turbines generates electricity. So the light which is present in this dynamo, it can switch on by using the wind energy. And the windmills are also present, like big fans are present in the different fields. So windmills are nothing but, in this way the windmills are present, turbines are attached to it, and the rotation of this fans can takes up the energy that is present in the wind. So wind energy is utilized by these fans to generate electricity. When the wind energy touches this moving turbines, then they cause the production of current, that is electricity. So when the cycle starts working, the bulb that is attached to it, glows, and this shows how the movement of the tires can generate, how the movement of tires takes up the energy that is produced by the wind. So they use the wind energy and can light up the bulb that is attached to it. The next one is windmills. Windmills are the large fans that are present on some areas where the wind blows. So large fans are present in some hilly areas where the wind blows, and also near the seashores. So the large fans were arranged on these regions where the wind blows with a high speed, and this wind energy is used by the fans when they rotate. So the rotation of the fans, when it occurs, at that time the wind blows and that wind has some energy. So the energy which is produced by the wind is called as wind energy, and this kind of energy is used up by the large fans to create or to produce current, that is electricity, and this current or electricity is used to run different appliances. This is how the wind energy helps in generating electricity. The next one is water energy. Sunlight and the wind has some kind of energy. Likewise, water also has energy, and the energy that is produced by the water is used in different purposes, and the main purpose of water energy is to generate electricity again, and the electricity can be generated by using water in hydroelectric projects. So different stations are present in hydroelectric station. The water is used to generate electricity, and the electricity that is generated by using water energy is called as hydroelectricity. So in our state, that is in Telangana, Nalgonda district is present, where we can find the project that is Nagarjuna Sagar project, and it is designed to store the water, and that water is used in hydropower stations where the hydroelectricity can be generated. So the water can be stored in the Nagarjuna Sagar that can be used by different hydropower stations in order to produce electricity. Likewise, in the other state, that is in Andhra Pradesh, Kurnool district is present. In the Kurnool district, one more project can be seen, and that is Sri Sailam. So Sri Sailam project is also designed for the storage of water. Here also the water can be stored, and the water that is stored in these different projects can be sent to the different hydropower stations, hydroelectric power stations, where the hydroelectricity can be produced. Besides this, water is also heated with the coal in some other power stations. So when the water is getting heated with the coal, water vapor, it gives out the water vapor, and as a result it also produces electricity. So this kind of electricity where the water is getting heated with the coal can be termed as thermal electricity. This is how the different energies are required to generate electricity, and based on the source from where the energy is getting to produce electricity, we can name them by different names. Like if we are getting the electricity by using sunlight, then it is called as solar electricity. If we are getting electricity by using the energy of wind, and the energy that we are getting from the wind is called as wind energy, it is also used for the production of electricity. And the energy that we are getting from water is called as water energy, and it is used to produce hydroelectricity and also used in the production of thermal electricity. So this is how the different kinds of energies are used in the different stations to produce electricity and also in the different purposes. तो अभी हम बात करेंगे डिफरेंट फॉर्म्स ऑफ एनर्जीज के बारे में. एक एनर्जी ऐसी होती है जो कि सनलाइट से मिलती है, इसको हम सोलार एनर्जी बोलेंगे. सोलार एनर्जी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी को जनरेट करने के लिए भी इस्तेमाल की जा सकती है, और इस एनर्जी से कई तरह के एप्लियंसेस काम कर सकते हैं, जैसा कि है इमरजेंसी लैम्प, कैलकुलेटर, सोलार हीटर और सोलार कार. नेक्स्ट वाला है विंड एनर्जी. जो भी एनर्जी विंड से मिलती है, जो विंड के पास एनर्जी होती है, उस चीज़ को हम विंड एनर्जी बोलेंगे. और जब हवा बहुत ज़्यादा तेज़ चलेगी तो जो लार्ज फैंस अरेंज किए जाते हैं हिली रीजन्स और सी शोर्स पर, वो ये वाली एनर्जी को यूज़ करते हैं और लार्ज फैन के रोटेशन से और विंड एनर्जी की मदद से इलेक्ट्रिसिटी क्रिएट की जा सकती है, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बनाई जा सकती है. और जो एनर्जी वाटर के पास होती है इसको हम वाटर एनर्जी बोलेंगे, और वाटर भी एक ऐसा रेन्यूएबल रिसोर्स है जो कि इलेक्ट्रिसिटी को जनरेट करने के लिए हेल्प करता है। तो दो तरह के स्टेशंस प्रेजेंट होते हैं, एक है हाइड्रो इलेक्ट्रिक पावर स्टेशन और एक है थर्मल पावर स्टेशन। हाइड्रो इलेक्ट्रिक पावर स्टेशन में सिर्फ वाटर का इस्तेमाल किया जाता है इलेक्ट्रिसिटी को प्रोड्यूस करने के लिए, और थर्मल पावर स्टेशंस में वाटर के साथ साथ कोल का भी इस्तेमाल किया जाता है इलेक्ट्रिसिटी को जनरेट करने के लिए। सो इन दिस वे different kinds of energies are used by the human beings for their different operations and for the different tasks. Let us now look at the differences between non-renewable resources and renewable resources. When we talk about the non-renewable resources, then these are the resources that we get by burning of fuels. Then these are the resources that we use to get the energy. Energy can be obtained by burning of fuels. So this kind of energy can be obtained by using non-renewable resources. In simple words, we can say non-renewable resources are the resources that on excessive use can get exhausted. Here we can take an example of, here we can take the examples like petrol, diesel, kerosene and coal. These are the different non-renewable resources. And these non-renewable resources are expensive. They are very costly and they create pollution in the environment. If we use this petrol, diesel, kerosene and coal in an excessive amount, then this leads to pollution. So they can be termed as pollutants. Pollutants are nothing but the substances that are responsible to create pollution in the environment, and these resources will not be available for a long time. As I said you before, that if we use it in a large amount, they can be vanished. They can get exhausted. So these resources will not be available for a long time. And the alternative, we must use the alternatives. Instead of using this, we can use the other things, like we can use the energy that can be obtained from renewable resources. So by using the alternatives, we can save the non-renewable resources for the future use. Next one is renewable resources. Renewable resources means the sun, wind and water. All these are the renewable resources that never get exhausted. And the energy that is obtained from sunlight is solar energy. Energy that is obtained from wind is wind energy, and the energy that can be produced by using water is hydro energy. All these energies we can get by using renewable resources, and these energies are so cheap. We do not have to pay anything. These are the natural resources. These are the natural things from which we can get the energies, and these resources are non-pollutants. The usage of these renewable resources will not create any pollution. It will not create any harm to the environment. So these are non-pollutants and they are available forever, and if we use them in a proper way, we can conserve these non-renewable resources, because the alternative of non-renewable resources are the renewable resources one. So if we are going to use renewable resources in a proper manner, then we can save the non-renewable resources for the future use. So by looking at the differences only, we can say that the renewable resources should be used by us to get the energy and to do the different operations. So this is how the renewable resources are more suitable for the human consumption when compared to the non-renewable resources. And when we talk about the conservation of these non-renewable resources, then it's our responsibility to use the energy that is obtained from the non-renewable resources in an appropriate manner. In a proper manner, we should use the energy that we get from the non-renewable resources. By doing so, we can conserve the different non-renewable resources and we can save them for our future use. So this is how we can conserve the energy. And one more point that we need to remember here is, instead of using non-renewable resources for the different purposes, we should always try to use the energy that is obtained from renewable resources. We should not waste fuels like petrol, diesel, kerosene and coal. We should use them in a proper manner. So here, we should decrease the use of non-renewable resources and increases the use of non-renewable resources. Here the lesson energy ends. I hope it's clear to you. Meet you next class. Thank you.